process anymore. It's just what is occurring to happen now, because I feel like you've decluttered so much, and now it's just, this space where everything is just occurring and happening in your face, raw, like all the time. And I don't know. I mean, we're here to support you in any way. I just feel bad because I don't know.
They call it like a dropping away, right? And so it's not like you can make it, the person can't make it happen. There's no way you can make the apparent dropping away happen. It's just seen when it's seen, and then you'll know. I mean, it doesn't happen in an instant. Like, it's just weird. Like, it just appears, and you're like, oh shit.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It is. It's
wow.
like, oh my God. Tawny, when I was talking to you that one time, Tawny was like, Shannon, have you told anybody else about this?
No. Have her watch Anna Brown and Tim Kliss and Tony Clark.
Kenneth Madden and all them, man. That's when it all of a sudden it's like you just wake up. I wasn't
seeking that, just so you know, Tawny. That wasn't like I was just seeking because of the parent catalyst, the twin flame. There was no choice. I was just reading every book, like grasping, like literally like drowning in an ocean. And every new teacher I would think, and then the final teacher, like the same with Jazz, was like Muji. And that was like, to me, I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the teacher of all teachers. I'm moving to wherever he was, Peru, wherever he was. Yeah, where was he?
Portugal.
Yeah, I was going to be a Muji disciple because he was the closest thing
I
to
was
Jesus
buying,
that I could imagine.
I was buying a turban, and like,
I was gonna get some mallet beads.
I was wrapping myself in like an Indian like thing, and I was like a guru. Like,
I was gonna go to India too. That was my goal. Like, I was gonna ride on a herd. I was gonna ride on the front of an elephant, and I'm gonna go into India, and I was going to sit at the feet of a guru, and I was gonna, be like,
it's Kishikash or something. I was like planning to go there.
Me and Tawny were talking about going to Egypt and wanting to go talk to this person. Me and Tawny were like, we wanted to go in the woods. We wanted to ground our feet. We wanted to go camping. We wanted to do whatever we could to stop feeling what we just wanted to have that Zen feeling.
There's no
because that twin flame.
Game. That's what the thing is. The mind just tells you, when I get there, I'll know. When I get there, the thing is, that's just the mind keeping you stuck in the fucking loop. It's the mind thinking it's going to get something. There's nothing to get. Like, it's already everything. And when it's realized it's already this, it can be devastating, but it can also be like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, I don't know. For the person, I was happy it fell. The character appeared to fall away. I mean, you're always going to be whatever you are here. There's always going to be personality traits or whatever that appear. No one's going to look. You're not going to walk into the room after realization and people are going to go, oh my God, I can totally tell something's different. It's not like that.
No, not at all.
It's just energy. It's energetic. That's all I think. I don't even know that. That's it. I've said too much. Yeah. Not even that. I don't know what happened.
The thing is, a twin flame in your head is like you're trying to get this love out there. This person that you had a magical love with, and the universe changed for you after you met your twin flame. You see numbers, you see this, there's crows, there's birds flying. Oh my God, Jesus comes down and says hello to you. Oh, that's what happened to me. All of these things happened. And then at the end of the path, it was like, I don't need something outside of this, because this is already whole. This is already love. This is already complete to get anymore. And by the way, my twin flame was never even capable of ever giving me that, I feel like when I was on the path, I had like rose colored glasses and thinking that he was like this beautiful, amazing lover. And that was just gonna make me happy in all ways. But honestly, he's still not capable of being that. And I think a lot of twin flames like make excuses for them,
Yeah. You put them on pedestal, especially after realization. Like my twin and I lived together for 2.5 years. We were engaged. It was peaceful and amazing, I thought at the time, right? But if I'm honest, like when we were in the relationship, a parent relationship, and interacting with each other, I had been more in love with other men. But with David, it just felt
different.
It felt like a lock clicked into place. And that the thing that I've been yearning for as the person, there was a realization, whether it be energetic or what, that this was the person I had been waiting for. Now, that's not because of the love. It was because, oh, motherfucker, this is the guy who's going to be the catalyst to your journey. Whatever energetically recognized that.
Yeah,
and it was the mind saying,
but are they really the right guy? I don't know. For me, it wasn't.
No, I don't think so. I think like a lot of the twin flame teachers teach, I think they are just a catalyst and they're just another person. One of the things that, I had a twin flame coach, Kurt, all-star dude. One of the things he said that still makes sense to me is that it had to get your attention. It had to fucking hurt, or you would never have it. The energy that, I don't want to say soul because I don't believe in that anymore, but whatever energetically it had to get your attention. So the obsessive thoughts, the fucking craziness after he left. It wasn't during.
Yeah, it wasn't during.
The thing I told you about with the magnet thing. Well, before I even knew about twin flames, what the fuck was that? Like the energetic push that I felt in his presence the last time I saw him. There was something energetically that had to do with but this is going to sound crazy, and maybe it still is a form of a weird way of thinking about it. But if you think about this illusion, right? The world is an illusion. It's a apparent duality, right? Hot, cold, up, down, in, out, until you realize it's not, right? But you're still living in it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think like, well, that would make sense if energetically you had to exist in a place that is dual for a polar like opposite of your energy in this world would make sense in order to live in the dualism. Like, not that they're special, they're just a negative or positive polarity. I still think there might be something to that, not as him being special, but as everything that's born in or appears in this apparent illusion is negative, up, down, hot, cold, in, out. So that still kind of like resonates. Like, well, that could be like if you're going to appear here as people, you would have to be dual. Yeah. There would have to be an opposite of what but not just energy, not like here energy, not outside of this fake ass, existence. Do you see what I'm saying?
You're making me
no, I totally get it.
You're making me think about like, so my twin abandoned me, rejected me, hurt me in the most ridiculous ways possible, was toxic, was put me down, all the things that my childhood was about. He just came in my face and showed me, and somehow I loved him, which was retarded. Well, right?
The thing is with me and Tani,
unconditional.
Me and Tani, right? We stuck around for 5-6 years.
So did I.
Guys waiting around to see if they were going to come back.
And me too. I'm on year number 4, right? And I'm not doing the waiting anymore. But this month, he left in December. I want to say he left early January of 2019, right? Showed up 2 more times after that. There was a back and forth, 2 short periods of time, and then he was gone. We never, like, I didn't have the toxicity. We were like thick as thieves. But he had another girl. He left me for another person that he wound up marrying. But my biggest fear was that he would do that. So I think there is something to the fact that in order for you to recognize everything, you have to face everything. And my biggest fear was that David would marry this girl. And he did last year, and I cried a year ago. I still cried.
I think your biggest fears show up. Your biggest fears show up. For me, my biggest fear was to let him go. And I had to let him go.
Me too.
I grieved him. I cried. But that was my biggest fear. I knew he wasn't going to get another girl because I just don't think he's got the skills. But I don't.
David's really cute.
Connie, you remember when me and you, girl, we would just sit and talk for hours and like trying to figure out why we were going through what we were going through. I mean, we went through a whole freaking process. I mean, if you want to tell about your situation, you can, because it was pretty deep. And you know, she always felt like she was doing something wrong, or I always felt like I was doing
Tanya,
something
are you
wrong.
still thinking about your twin? Are you still like wanting him? Do you have obsessive thoughts? Like,
as far as wanting him, I feel like what you guys said, I got fucking breadcrumbs from my twin flame. Like it was a constant like in and out situation, like all of them. But it was that feeling that he gave me, that magical fucking feeling. Like I remember the first time we kissed, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like I've never had a visual of like sparks flying pretty much. And I it's like I was like chasing for it too. Like in every relationship, I was searching for it. But like Monique said, I finally came to realize like this was a catalyst, because there's no fucking way I would accept this from any other fucking man. You know, I put it on a pedestal too. But it was weird though, like with my twin flame at working at at the hospital at Western, he just always pop up. Just every time I had let go, he'd pop up. But
yeah, every time I let go, he'd just show back up again. I mean, it was like every year, the same cycle, boom. And I'm just like,
that's what they talk about though. Like you guys had the back and forth. I had the ghost. There's apparently two ways that they disappears. Either your twin flames come back and forth, and energetically, when you go back to focusing on them, they run. That's in the story. Then there's the other one.
Shannon's second one just
ghost.
ghosted.
Gone.
My second one did.
Gone. Yeah, like never ever heard from him again, like ever. So
Tawny went through a drawn out separation though. She went through a back and forth for a minute, but then eventually it went to long term. If I'm right.
That's usually, you got to have time in the story to work, to have this sorted out in you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think if he had been coming back and forth, I don't know. Like, I'm grateful now that he just left, because it took so long to fucking get past it. Like, but even during those times, there were apparent shifts that were happening. There was searching and searching and searching, not on him, but spiritually. The spiritual search was in Eckhart Tolle, and then, you know, Michael Singer, and then Wayne Dyer and Ram Dass. Oh my God, I loved Ram Dass. He was big for me. And then it just like, I can't even name them all. And it was just one to the next, to the next, to the next. And then I started watching some Anna Brown, and I resonated. There was something I got about it, but it wasn't like the mind didn't get it.
She froze.
Right.
I'm saying, did she freeze on your end?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. No, did it move? No, she didn't move. It didn't move. I can't. Can you hear us?
I think I fell and she froze.
Are you okay? I just saw you go sideways.
It was just my phone, not me.
But you know what? The one thing I realized is that all this time I was thinking that this was a special thing, and they're no different than any Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's just all this shit appears to happen around us, and that's when we start to think it's magical. But at the end of the day, they're no different than anybody else. And here we are wasting our time focusing on this one individual when they're not coming back because they choose not to come back. They don't want to come back.
You know, I will never, ever.
We're blaming ourselves though, right? We're blaming ourselves thinking that it's something that we're doing, but we're not. It's nothing we're doing. It's just that they don't want to come back, and that it is what it is.
You know, I made excuses for my twin and say things like, oh, you know, he's going to come back. I have a story around him, right? He's going to come back. He's going to be better. He's going to heal. He's going to not breadcrumb me anymore. He's not going to just reject me, abandon me. But you know what? It is what it is. And that's who he is. And I would never accept that kind of treatment again, which I was accepting that kind of treatment from men and thinking that was okay. Like, wait a second, like someone's supposed to love me, make me feel secure, take care of my heart, give to me, be attentive, be tender, all of these things that I didn't even know existed because I was so codependent. And I was, always, I was abused as a child. So I didn't know what love really was, or having a healthy attachment. But I will never put up with that kind of shit. And I did. I thought that was love, just because I loved him. Or
and the magical stuff too. That's probably what they say was it's the dream. It's the story.
It's a dream. It's a fantasy.
Yeah,
it's a fantasy.
It's a fantasy.
I was telling Monique, I was like, I deserve to be with someone that is going to treat me the way I want to be treated and have that consistency and all that. I want that companionship. And there's nothing wrong with that. Where in the twin flame community, they make you feel like it's wrong for you to want those things. Or the spiritual community, whatever, they make you feel like it's wrong to even want any of that, because they call it like you're being codependent or you're one. There's nothing wrong with you feeling any kind of way. That's the thing. That's freedom.
What's appearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's freedom. I want to feel whatever I want to feel. That whatever's coming up is what's coming up for me, and that's okay.
And it's all okay.
But we're told that we have to go through certain levels to heal those certain things, like, oh, you got abandonment issues. No, I fucking don't. It's okay for me to feel what I want to feel. But we're told we have to heal this, heal that, heal that, heal that. No, there's nothing that you need to heal. You're just being you, and it's authentic and organic. It's natural. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And that's where I'm at peace with myself, because I feel what I want to feel. And it's okay.
Well, I remember the last, like you guys talk about the back and forth. So like I said, I only had the ghosting thing, but even when I was with David, I was very, because I had been codependent for so many years, and the relationship with David was different, that I had already decided before I met him, I wasn't going to deal with any shit. Right. But there, obviously that wasn't healed. But I remember the last time he came back, the second time, I had known about the girl. I found out about the girl, and she had reached back out to him, and he was contemplating between the two of us. And he said, well, I said, well, you're going to have to choose her or me. And he said, well, I'm not going to choose. And I said to him, the last thing I said to him, other than when I saw him in my yard with the motorcycle, I said, well, let me choose for you. I'm out. And he goes, I figured you'd say that. And I said, well, then good luck with her. Goodbye. So at least I can look back, and I did absolutely say that to him, even though I was destroyed. I wasn't going to allow him to play me. I was the fiance. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Even then, it was not going to happen. Even though I felt like my heart was being completely ripped out of my soul, and I just couldn't energetically. I knew I was not going to accept that unacceptable situation from him.
I had the same situation. The last time I saw my twin, he rejected me again in front of everybody in public on my birthday.
Wow.
And I looked at him like he treated me like I was trash, like I was trash.
Wow.
And I looked at him. I knew in my heart I would never, ever accept that ever again. And I said, I don't love you anymore. Don't ever call me again. We never need to talk. He's like, yeah, right. I said, I mean it. And the next day I got home, and I had a breakdown on my birthday, and everyone thought I was just drunk. I had a breakdown, and I just grieved him and never looked back, because we keep on making excuses for these twins that are I don't know. I don't want to say this, but they're projecting our childhood trauma on us. Okay.
Yeah. I think abandonment issues.
Yeah. And every man that I met in my life has always been just like my dad, or just like my brother. And I don't want those men. Those men have abused me. Those men have hurt me. Those men have put me down. I'm never enough for them. All this shit. This guy that I met now, I told him the first second I talked to him, I said, you remind me of my uncle. And it was the first time I switched the dynamic. But
what a comparison.
Yeah.
Your uncle.
My uncle is totally like a great guy and loving. And
I'm so happy for you, because I remember when you did start, we were talking, and I got you into getting back online. I was telling Monique the same thing. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
but you know, she got back online and she met this wonderful guy and they're doing good. I mean, I've had a good experience myself, but it's not that, you know, whatever happens. I really don't go seeking.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Tani.
Sorry. When I started to go with the flow more, for me, I just started to realize that like I just became grateful for the experience, honestly, because it brought so much out of me that I never knew. Like it literally is what helped me to where I'm at today, like mentally. And then you know, like even though they fuck us over, it's taught me that it's showed me the unconditional love. Yep. Because I'm like, dude, I still love this dude. You know, I still love him. I hold love for him. But like you guys said, like I won't fucking accept nothing less than what I deserve.
It changes your life exponentially, especially after, like, the non-dual part to me is like the final. I mean, life's still unfolding all the time, and that's just in the story, the final cherry on the cake. You know, where you go, where it's all seen for what it is anyway. But like, what I personally, for me, the journey, a parent journey, whatever appeared to happen, like you, 100% gratitude. Like, and it's not the same. Like I would never tolerate it from somebody again, and not in a broken, I was hurt kind of way. It's in a way of love, like for love, because I love whatever this is enough to never accept anything less. And that's the whole point, I think, of this whole thing.
I can't find your worthiness. To find your worthiness. And it's not your worthiness. It's nothing's worthy. Nothing is worthy by itself, and it's complete. And you sit in that. I mean, can't even say sit in it. It is that space, and that space can't be really like, you can't do the shit that you used to do anymore. Like, it's just different. It's just different.
I can't say that I won't ever hurt again. I can't say that I won't. I won't fall madly in love again. I can't say that I won't. You know, there's no telling. That's the thing. It's like now I'm just more like okay with expressing what I'm feeling. Like if I'm hurting, I'm hurting, and if I'm with someone and I'm really into them and I'm yearning them, that's completely okay too, because that's just what's coming up for me. And
exactly,
it's like everything is just natural, and whatever's coming up, it's like, okay, I'm jealous, or okay, I'm yearning for this person. Okay, maybe I'm not yearning for this person, or I want companionship. All of that is completely normal.
Nothing's wrong.
No problem. Yeah.
Shannon, I feel all those feelings in my relationship. I feel jealous. I get territorial. But so before I would like lash out on the guy, right? Now I'm just like, you know what? I'm feeling jealous.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what can I do to make you not jealous? And I'm like, oh, that's so healthy. You know, it's like, that's so nice of him. But I speak my stuff. But yeah, I feel all those feelings. I feel pain. I feel jealous.
Before we thought we were wrong for feeling all of those. We were told that we cannot feel any of that. And that's where we get messed up. But now, like when I was talking to the guy last night, I met a guy, by the way, I forgot to tell you. He's from,
go, Shani.
Yeah, he's from Colombia. Well, he's born and raised in Colombia, but girl, let me tell you, he's fine. But he lives in Jersey. But we were talking, I was like, God, I'm such a weirdo. You know, and I would never say that before. I would like kind of act like this strong woman, but now I'm so more vulnerable. And I'm like, I'm such a weirdo, you know, and he was like, but why do you feel like that? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, because I said, and he's like, you're fine, you know, but before I wouldn't let those insecurities come out. I was afraid because I thought that it was wrong. But now it's like,
nothing's wrong.
It comes out.
Nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah, everything. Nothing's wrong with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shannon's like
because you remember Tony, we were
like a twin.
Huh? What'd you say, Monique?
I said Shannon's like a twin flame hoarder. She gets like 3 out of she gets 3 of them.
3 of them. I don't even. And when I first met Tawny, I really thought the one was it. But then I went thinking back and I said, oh my God, I've been through this before with someone else. And it was the first guy. And then when Tawny told me about the whole twin flame thing and I looked it up, I became so obsessed. Yeah. People at work thought I was losing my mind. Gladys was like, please let it go.
The same, like we talked about it. My coworkers were like, she's nuts. She's nuts.
Yeah,
She
my
thinks
family-
there's,
my
she thinks
family
there's
thought I was
another
nuts.
person who is her.
Same.
Because I was
Everyone's
literally
like, why?
saying, right? We
But
were like, we
all
really
of this shows you.
we and Tani really thought like it was the, that they were the ones that were crazy and we weren't. And I would like literally say like we were one soul and that all this crazy shit. And I would tell people this stuff at my job and they would just go, okay. Like, what the hell is what's she smoking on? And then when I think back now, I'm like, oh my God, what was I going through? But I get it. It happened. You know what I mean? But now I have this realization that it's just a story. And it was just like,
just a story.
It was a fantasy and it was just made up. And I only reason why I held on to it was because of the story and the concept twin flame. But really, it was just a regular mojo that had all this fascinating stuff that happened around him. And I just got attached to it because it was fascinating and I never had that happen to me. But now it's like,
No, here's there's something I want to say about the twin flame story and all the things on the internet. So this twin flame comes and abandons you, rejects you, whatever they do to you, right? I don't know. Every story is different. And you're supposed to sit there with unconditional love and accept them. And you have to work on yourself. No, man. Okay. I don't need to do shit. You did me wrong. And I'm not going to deal with your shit. Okay. Because I'm out of all of that. I was the wrong one when you're the one that rejected me, treated me like shit, gave me breadcrumbs, didn't answer the phone, did all these things, ghosted me, whatever the hell it is, whatever they did. I'm sorry. I have anger over this right now because I honestly,
that's okay.
You're always on the spiritual path and on the twin flame path. Oh, you need to look within. No, I don't need to do shit. I need to not accept some guy that treats me any less than what I deserve. You know what I'm saying?
It's a process, though, don't you think?
Is.
Like it's a process.
Yeah, it is a process.
Been in that place where I don't know, but you guys can't speak for but there was a lot of apparent self-loathing here, a lot of hatred of self during that time, where there was narcissism and which was because it was hiding behind such low self-worth, no self-love. So of course what you have inside you give away, right? If you don't like yourself, you give that away. If you're angry, you give that away. If you're loving, you give that away. So whatever.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, I had to release all that. But what I want to like tell the twin flames out there is just stop. Stop giving your love away. I know you can't, but
until you can.
And you can't, right? It's all happening on its own. I get it.
Right.
But maybe this message can just give them a new perspective. I don't know why I'm saying this shit. I'm fucking saying it. Who knows? Maybe it's supposed to, because I spent all these years thinking I have to fix myself. I have to fix myself. And even though I did, in a way, release a lot of things, but even after I released everything, he was still an asshole. Yeah. He was still an asshole. And he's going to be an asshole.
And you know what? Honestly, I was telling people like it's an abusive mindset to yourself when you think that you got to fucking fix something about yourself because of some other person and what they're it's not about you and everything about is what they're doing. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with you, but